In this video, I'm going to explain exactly why you can feel deeply lonely even when you are in a relationship, even when he is physically there, and why this experience is so confusing and painful for so many women married to narcissistic partners. If you have ever thought, why do I feel so alone when I'm not actually alone? You are in the right place. And let me say this, you are not imagining this. This kind of loneliness is not about being ungrateful, and it's not about asking for too much. What this is it's a specific emotional experience that happens when you are with someone who is present in body but absent in empathy, safety, and emotional connection. And this is what makes it so destabilizing. You look at your life and think, everything should be fine, so why do I feel empty, unseen, or disconnected? What keeps women stuck here is that on the surface, the relationship can look very normal. He comes home, he talks, he might even laugh or sit next to you. But when you try to share something real, something emotional, something that matters to you, the conversation goes nowhere. You might be met with indifference, defensiveness, irritation, or a subtle shift that makes you feel like you have done something wrong just by opening your mouth. Many women describe it as feeling like they are talking into a void. You stop bringing things up because it never leads to understanding. You stop sharing your inner world because it feels pointless. Over time, you start to shrink. Not because you want to, but because being emotionally present feels unsafe to you. This is the part no one really explains. Loneliness in these relationships does not come from a lack of company. In these types of relationships, it comes from a lack of emotional atonement. Your nervous system is constantly scanning for connection and safety, and it never quite finds it. So you feel on edge, you overthink conversations, you replay moments where you felt dismissed or ignored, and you wonder if you're the problem. Here is where people get trapped. You start trying harder. You communicate more clearly. You soften your tone. You choose words carefully. You tell yourself that if you just explain it better, he will finally understand. But that rarely works because the issue is not communication. The issue here is capacity. By the way, just quickly, if you're new here, my name's Brandon. Over 600,000 people follow my daily insights on healing and understanding narcissistic relationship dynamics over on Instagram. I'm not here to ask anything of you, but if you find this video helpful, liking it lets me know I'm helping, and it helps YouTube show this to others who need it. Someone I spoke to recently described her marriage in a way that really stayed with me. She said, I can be in the same room as him all evening, and by the end of the night, I feel more alone than if I had spent it by myself. She told me she had stopped talking about her day, her feelings, even her hopes, because every response felt transactional or dismissive. When she finally tried to explain how lonely she felt, he told her she was dramatic and impossible to please. That moment made her question her own reality. Now, if any part of that resonates, you're not weak for feeling this way. You're responding to emotional deprivation. As humans, we're wired for connection. When that connection is repeatedly withheld or minimalized, the result is not strength, it's exhaustion or grief. If you feel comfortable, tell me a little bit about who you are and what you're dealing with in the comments. I read and reply, and you are not alone in this. Now, here is the reframe that changes everything. The loneliness you feel is information. It's not a personal failure. It's your nervous system telling you that emotionally something is missing. Narcissistic partners often struggle with genuine empathy and emotional availability. They can perform closeness, but they cannot sustain it. That is why you feel unseen, even when you are right there with them. Understanding this restores your power because it moves the question that you ask yourself. It moves it from what is wrong with me to what am I responding to here? When you stop internalizing the absence, you stop chasing connection that was never going to be given freely. That does not mean you have to make any sudden decisions. It simply means you can begin trusting your experience again. Loneliness in a relationship is not something you fix by trying harder. It is something you understand by seeing the dynamic clearly. And clarity is the beginning of emotional safety. If this video helped, I'll put another one on the screen that will help you even more.